Petrol prices are set to soar. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your Stein or cup of coffee. Actually, you know what? Hang on, I'll transfer it to the Stein. There we go. Grab your Stein of coffee, and let's have a look at this article about, well, the tax on petrol is going to return. Remember, these temporary government programs that are anything but taxes always seem to be popular, but a tax discount, well, that has to return, doesn't it? They couldn't even contemplate making that permanent. So let's have a look at what Eliza has written here. Maybe it's time to go and stock up on a bit of petrol, guys. Get a few containers and, well, just keep a bit at home if you can store it safely. The fuel excise cut, so tax cut, is set to end next week, with petrol prices tipped to soar. And with cost of living pressures already weighing on Aussie households, the end of the fuel relief is coming at a tough time. Well, the government can extend it. They should abolish it entirely, to be quite honest, and, just cut services that we don't need to address that. Wouldn't that be a novel idea? Motorists can expect to see a spike of 25 cents per litre on their petrol bills, according to Finder. Finder's Consumer Sentiment Tracker found a significant number of Australians were struggling with the cost of petrol. Well, even if you're not struggling, I'm starting to notice it now. I was going shopping the other day, and we stopped off at 7-Eleven, and the coffees are still $1. They're still $1 for now. And there was a queue. This is just, 6 o'clock one weeknight. There was a queue there. And it wasn't until I ended up, just ditching that and going to another petrol station that I'm realizing, wait a minute, they were $1.40, where we're going is $1.90. That's why there was a queue. Everyone was lining up to get the super cheap petrol. Research found almost a third, 28%, listed petrol as one of the expenses causing the most amount of stress. Now, this is one of the advantages to working from home. Your fuel costs go down significantly. I don't have to commute to an office anymore. Even when I did, I just had a little 30-minute drive. That burns up the petrol every day. If you work from home, you don't need that cost. This was up from 13% in September 2021, but down from 34% in July 22. The average price of fuel for E10 unleaded 91 in New South Wales is $1.71 per litre, up from $1.60 a week ago. In March 2022 federal budget, forecast Australian motors will pay more than $13.9 billion in net fuel excise this financial year and $62.5 billion over the next 4 years. Yes, this is taxes, everyone. This is another tax. There's so many hidden taxes that the average person doesn't realize they're paying. This should be listed as a separate item on every fuel docket. Fuel excise, fuel tax. And they should call it tax, so it's quite clear. But I guess they don't want people to realize the reality of all of this. Finder money expert Sarah Megginson said fluctuating prices were putting a lot of strain on Aussie households. Many Australians are dreading filling up at the pump, and with the fuel excise set to end in a week, now's the time to grab cheaper fuel while it's still available. If you have ever filled up the car and then driven past the service station 10 minutes away with a much cheaper price, you'll know it pays to shop around. And lucky there are plenty of apps that do the legwork for you. Do any of you use those apps? They keep telling me to get it at the 7-Eleven. I'm too lazy. I just go to the local one because, it's close. So maybe I should put a bit more effort in to save a bit of money. There you go. I guess I'll have to now, particularly once it reaches over $2, that's a pain point for me. I remember when it was around 40 cents. Showing my age there. Megginson said, depending on where you were, you could get a government app, such as the New South Wales Fuel Checker app or WS Fuel Watch. There are also plenty of independent apps such as Motormouth and Fuel Price Australia. Why is the government pissing money away developing apps? They don't need to do that. How about the government stop pissing money away on stupid, pointless apps to save us money and instead reduce the fuel excise? There's an idea. See when I'm talking about cutting pointless government services? This is an example. There's no need for this. Let the market decide. Let the businesses compete. Cut the bullshit. But this is the problem. People say, oh, look how nice the government is. They're taking care of us. They're trying to keep petrol cheaper, by developing these apps. So it's the old adage of, they go and breaking your legs with a crowbar and then handing you a crutch. Oh, they're so nice. They're taking care of me. No, they're the reason why you've got these excises. They're the reason why fuel is so expensive. Megginson encouraged motorists to plan ahead before the fuel relief ended. You definitely don't want to wake up in the morning when the excise returns to normal with an empty tank. Plan ahead and fill up now while you can ahead of the September 29th changeover. And, I've got a few long-term fuel storage tanks that I keep in the shed, and I just run through them. Get one, use it on the lawnmower, use it in the car, and then put another one back there in the shed just to keep it fresh. Maybe that's what we have to do. So let's talk about this. There you go. There's an example. A government app to try and address an issue that the government is causing a significant portion of. Fuel is so expensive. Cost of living it's so expensive because there's a huge tax on petrol because they know you have to spend it. So they want to tax these products that have, that they're quite, you're essentially forced to use them. They're not very elastic. The demand is pretty set regardless of the price. So you've cut other things before you cut your petrol because you needed to go to work, you needed to drive around, you needed to live. So that's why they tax this stuff, guys. Same thing as all the addictive cigarettes and alcohol. My new favorite quote now, I'm saying, is alcohol's just mainly carbohydrates and taxes. That's all it is. Stop being a government tax simp and stop drinking, become a teetotaler. Why not? So, there you have it, everyone. Petrol is going up. Maybe it's time to fill up the tank. I'm definitely going to do it myself. Might get the trailer and get a few of the fuel containers, fill them up, store a bit of petrol. And, when will people learn? Okay? Huge amounts of taxes are being charged to us and hidden. And then the government comes to the rescue with their Fuel Watch app. Oh, well, at least some software developers have made some money. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Check out my other channels, HeiseBim and HeiseSays International, for other content I discuss. If you want to support us, there are a few ways you can. Financially on YouTube or Patreon, using our referral links, buying our pocket squares, or calling us if you need an architect. Take care, everyone. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next episode. Let me know if you're going to stock up on petrol. What do you reckon? Should they list it? The excise as a separate line item on your receipt so you realize how much you're paying the state? That'd probably make people too aware.